Gang, it's the Squatch Detective Steve Kulls here. Tonight's show's sponsor is Coursera. If you're looking to level up your skills or explore a new field, Coursera has you covered. With more than 7,000 courses from top universities and companies, you can learn anything from data science to business, even psychology, at your own pace. Whether you're aiming to advance your career or just learning for fun, Coursera is the place to be. And the best part? Many courses are free to check out, and if you choose to opt for the monthly plan, you've got a 7-day free trial to see if it fits your needs. And for a limited time, you can save 40% off a year's subscription. Follow the link in the show description to start your new education today.
Welcome to Squatch-D where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to Squatch-D TV for today's date, December 18th, 2024. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective Steve Kulls, along with my co-host right down there, Mr. Chris Bennett. Hello, Chris.
Steve, how you doing today, man?
I am wonderful.
We are getting a lot of rain. Boy, it's really been raining. And I mean, thunderstorms and everything else. I don't know what's going on around here. But yeah, at least it's not snow, or ice.
Hang on, we have an issue. Oh.
Glad to have rain instead of the cold stuff. But you guys been getting any snow up north?
We are getting rain. We're supposed to get some snow beginning at 2 a.m. tonight, lasting for only about 5 hours. So we may get an inch or so on the ground when we get up. But then again, tomorrow, the temperature is going to be up again tomorrow. So, but then tomorrow night, it's supposed to get really cold. Over the weekend. Saturday, it's supposed to be in the single digits overnight.
Oh boy, that's nice. Oh, can't stand that. It's gonna be rough.
That's right.
But yeah, that's okay. Right? I was looking earlier online. We were gonna have this may be off topic, but since we're getting started, we were gonna have Mexican hamburger tonight. Now, as everybody knows around here, Mexican hamburger is basically sloppy Joe, but you throw chili hamburger, onion, chili powder, some cumin, and maybe some tomato sauce or ketchup, and mustard, and mix it all together, and then you got a good Mexican hamburger. Well, they don't have any recipes for that online, because I told the wife, she said, make some Mexican hamburgers, so just find a recipe online, and
she doesn't put any cumin in or anything like that.
Oh yeah. I ended up making it tonight.
Yeah, a little cumin.
I remembered. Yeah, I just threw it together from what I used to watch Mom make. Yeah, you got to have the cumin and the chili powder. Yeah.
Yes, I was gonna say, yep, you put chili powder. Yeah, I always the cumin and the chili powder.
It makes everything good.
Well, you can make your own taco beef anyway, just by doing that. Ground hamburger, salt, pepper, cumin,
right.
Chili powder, boom.
And we add a little brown sugar to ours, throw a little sweetness in there, and maybe even sometimes a little vinegar. But it just depends on what you like,
Yep,
everybody has their own preferences.
Sure. And well, today was the company Christmas party, my new company.
Oh, good.
Great time. I'll tell you what. Well, there was they actually let us come in early, an hour early. And they said, make sure when you come in the Christmas party, punch in. They want us paid.
Wow.
During the Christmas party. Yep. It's a paid Christmas party. And we ate, and, we all got gifts from the company, and we had a Secret Santa thing, and then we had a couple of games going on. So I got a few lottery tickets out of the game, and I haven't scratched them. Yeah, it's a good time. I get a nice gift card. And
also if you're on the clock, that really takes care of the guy with end up putting the lampshade on his head. No drinking.
Do we? I'm not sure what's going on there in chat, but we shall see. We shall see.
Do I need to
No.
sign into the YouTube chat? Okay.
Not yet. Anyway, so tonight we're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna do a little trivia tonight, and we're gonna bounce some conversations off that trivia. Of course, we got the goal in there. We'll go an extra hour. And I don't see Daniel Weeks in there. Danny Weeks was like, Danny was.
It's still early yet, though.
Still early yet. Yep.
Yeah. Still rolling in.
That's what the Bat Mom says. We're a chat full of shenanigans. Grant says choice C 20. Well, this is not multiple choice. So this is we will have the rules for the game. I've been kind of trying to make them up. How can we make a good chat game, and stuff like that? And then what we'll do is we'll bounce maybe a conversation off of a couple of them, which will obviously give us some time and some educational opportunity. So
always like education. That's good.
Yes,
I need it.
So I know at least on one of them, I even need to brush up on. So we will do that one, and that was the one you were having trouble pronouncing, Chris.
Yeah.
So, let's first things first. Let's get the roll call in the house. There should be. It's a little bit of a quiet night here in the chat. First in tonight was Sharon from Belgium. Hello, Sharon. Good to see you. Pete H. Hello, Pete H. Don Gamau Jr. Bella Tominen, who's going to be back tomorrow. Walter Kroll. Hello, Walter. Jack Norton. Hello, guys. He said happy to make it to this podcast. Well, we're glad to have you here, sir. And the tall ones. Hello, Brent. Good to see you. Of course, Tessa the Bat Mom is in the house. Roy Longley, our chief lurker, is out there.
Roy. Welcome, Roy.
And there's Sean. Hello, Sean. Good to see you. And I think, and there's our good buddy Chuck, who's living in New Hampshire. Merry Christmas to you, sir. Yeah. Rupee. I don't know who Rupee is, but hello, Rupee. Good to see you. Welcome. Make yourself at home. The Susie Monster is here. Of course, Grant Rasha. There's Mick, as usual.
Hey, Mick.
And Jen, the bouncer, our bouncer, Jen, and I'm sure her office assistant, Baron, is in the house as well. Yeah. And I think that may be Danny, Southern Sierra. That may be Danny right there.
The Tennessee Cherokee was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here or not.
Yep, it's Danny. Yep. Danny Weeks, good to see you, sir.
Welcome.
So we are all in the house.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody.
Trying to see if there's anybody.
One wonderful Wednesday night. Hope it's warm where you're at.
Well, tell you what, I think we should send the Canadian Air right back to them.
Yes, they can have it. In the wintertime, I'll come down in there, and we keep the vents closed off at the lower level of the house. And I'll usually come down here an hour before the show and open the vents up. That way I've got some heat in here. I didn't do that tonight. I'm regretting it.
Oh, Dr. Mark in Texas. Hello, hey, Dr. Mark.
Dr. Mark, welcome. Good to see you.
And Chuck is in Florida for the winter. He's snowbirding.
Oh, yes. Smart man. You got the right idea, Chuck.
Yeah. Now, we are joined by a special guest today in the studio. Many of you have seen him many years ago. And what it is the Bumble.
Bumble. Oh, yeah. It's from the stop motion cartoons back when I was a kid. I remember.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah. And yes, I did get the coffee squatch meme. That was pretty good, Mick.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe it. Yeah, what happened to those stop motion cartoons? They like took them off the air or something. I don't know. Or they were politically incorrect or what? I don't know.
Danny sent in $5. Thank you, sir.
Danny, thanks so much. Appreciate that. Yeah,
of course, we're looking for that extra hour. And even though the goal says 5, we're going to take 3 today. It's going for an extra hour. So that's right, Mick. Bumbles bounce.
Well, I don't know, but it used to be every December they would start showing the Christmas shows, and there was those stop motion or claymation, I guess, animation.
Right.
And they stopped doing that for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, the system got technology. It was cheaper because it would take a lot of time and effort to pose picture, and then put all those pictures together to make a film.
Oh, yeah. I know the technology. That's the reason why they're making the new ones are made differently. But what I was getting at, though, they stopped showing the old ones.
Well, they showed Rudolph for the first time in a number of years last week. You know what it is? It's ratings. It's all about ratings.
Yeah. Nobody wants to watch that antique stuff. But, when I was a kid, we were glued to the TV.
I see Arthur Watch and Lebitron snuck in, too, a little bit.
Arthur, Betron, welcome.
Okay, so we have ourselves loaded with a bunch of questions tonight and answers, but only I have the answers. Well, you might have the answers, too. I don't know. We'll see. Boy, I can't wait till I get that prompter. I can just look up.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it would be better to be looking straight at the camera, I think, because most people, this would be the way I should be talking to everybody. But since I'm watching Steve and talking to him, I'm always looking over here.
Well, the neat thing about this is the prompter. Since it mimics a screen, I can be looking at the screen. I can be looking at you, and I can be looking at the chat all on one screen.
Right. That's handy. That should be cool.
Okay, here we go.
That's probably it.
Question number. Now, here's how we're going to play the game.
Yeah.
Okay. I want everybody get your thumbs up ready. So when you have the answer, I want you to put a thumbs up, not blurt out the answer in chat. And then we'll call upon you, and then you can type in your answer, and we'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
This is
right. Well, no. So you want to go? You just go. Well, you know what? I'll take a number 1. So if you put up a number 1 real quick, like that,
that'll work. Yeah.
Right. Then the first person with the number 1 will.
But since we were talking about
Northern X. Hello, Northern Expedition. What we're gonna do is we can do a number 1. That's fine, just a 1. So the first person that puts up a 1 is gonna be the one to answer the question, and then we'll call on you to answer that question. All right, and then what we'll do is if you're right or wrong. If you're wrong, then we'll go to the second number 1, and so on and so forth, or 5th. You never think about that, inflationary language. So, so on and so 5th. 4th is, sorry. Oh, look at that. Now everybody's being a
Chuck Truther come out with a second number 1 there.
I'll give you a number to ponder upon. So there, figure that one out. There you go.
Okay.
See what I put in there?
I see that.
I put in pie. All right, here we go. Question number 1. What word does Sasquatch come from, and which group of indigenous people first used the term? So it's a double jeopardy answer here.
Oh.
We need it. You know what I should have did is I should have downloaded some waiting music.
Reread the question.
I am. What does the word Sasquatch, or where does the word Sasquatch come from?
Okay.
And what group of indigenous people first used the term? The first number 1 up there goes to Mick. Okay, Mick, fire away. And you better be right, otherwise we go to Tessa next. There we go. All right, Mick, your answer. Now we wait.
We got Bat Mom for the second number 1.
That's right.
Mick doesn't get it.
Well, maybe a little rapping music, a little beatbox music till we get the answer, Mick.
actually a good idea.
All right, very good, Nick. Very good. Now we're not going to be like Jeopardy and take off for spelling.
No.
So
let's read it out for the folks listening on the podcast.
Yep. So the answer is it comes from Sasquatch, a term used by technically the Coast Salish people, and he did. He did miss an S, but I know it's just a misspelling there.
Oh well, yeah.
Sasquac, and there's a little, farfanugan above the E or the A.
My keyboard battery gets low. It starts typing every other word, every other letter. It misses it.
Right. That's why I wire I have a wired keyboard.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2. Again, throw that number 1 up first so you can be called on. This should be an easy one, folks, for those out there. What year was the term Bigfoot widely used in U.S. newspapers?
I think Bad Mom's got that one.
Yep. All right, Bat Mom, your turn. You go first. What year was the first widely used in newspapers that was the term Bigfoot?
Yes, it was in the 20th century, but that's a little bit vague.
All right, we have to defer to Mick.
Okay, Mick.
Okay,
Mick.
all right. No, Batman got it right. Batman got it right.
Yeah.
All right, good job. Yep, 1958. That was coined off the Jerry Crew footprint.
Right.
And it was coined by I forget his name. I always forget that guy's name. Whatever. You ever have a name that just cannot get it stuck in your head. You cannot get it to stick in your head.
Yeah, but that photograph is iconic too, where he's standing there holding that gigantic footprint. And I don't know if Jerry Crew was just a small man or what, but that cast really looks gigantic that he's holding up for the camera.
Right. So.
Yeah, Mick said 1957. I said that too, Mick. I said that too. But was it 1958? Fact check. There we go.
It's 1958. I know it is. We don't have to fact check it. Because it's right here in the answers, which were fact checked. All right, we're trying to figure out. So, okay, the term Bigfoot was popularized by a newspaper article in 1958. A journalist by the name of Andrew Genzoli, that's his name, of the Humboldt Times, a local newspaper in Northern California, used the term to describe large footprints discovered in the area around Bluff Creek. The footprints were found by a bulldozer operator named Jerry Crew, who made a plaster cast of the tracks. Genzoli's article referred to the creature as Bigfoot, and the term quickly caught on, becoming the widely recognized name for the legendary creature.
When I did the AIO review, it came out with that information, and it was the Humboldt Times, but it says hoax. It says, in 2002, Ray Wallace, a member of Crew's work crew, died, and his family revealed that the footprints were a hoax. That's incorrect.
What's that? Yep, and it says, although stories of large ape-like creatures existed long before, especially in Native American folklore, the 1958 Humboldt Times article helped bring the Bigfoot into the mainstream of public consciousness. Grant, I don't know where you're getting your information from, but I've never heard that before in my life. That's the first time I've heard that. Okay. Which cryptozoological organization was founded by Tom Slick to investigate the existence of Bigfoot? No cheating, no getting on anything. Which cryptozoological organization was founded by Tom Slick to investigate the existence of Bigfoot? Not the Yeti. Bigfoot.
Oh, Tom Slick. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Up, Danny Weeks has typed in number one. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, I'm not sure on this one. I'm not sure. I can't pull it back.
You do better with music. Yeah, well, every time I play music, I get yelled at. So that's why we got into the generic intro.
Oh, wrong view.
Okay. Which cryptozoological organization was founded by Tom Slick to investigate the existence of Bigfoot? And of course, it had people like Peter Byrne, Renee DeHinden, John Green, all.
Well, I'm cheating. I'm looking it up.
Everybody give up on that one?
I give up.
The Canadians, yeah. Nick, very good. You're good. You're close. You're close. You're close. Okay, so here's the answer to that one, since nobody got it. It's called the Pacific Northwest Expedition. And again, Tom Slick was a Texas oilman, adventurer, philanthropist who played a significant role in the search for cryptids, including the Bigfoot and the Yeti. Yeah. While he didn't coin the term Bigfoot, his work in cryptozoology helped bringing attention to the search of the elusive creatures. Right. In the late 1950s, Tom Slick funded expeditions to explore reports. He was particularly interested in the Yeti of the Himalayas, but also supported investigations into Bigfoot and sightings into North America. His contributions inspired many enthusiasts and researchers to take the subject more seriously.
Tom Slick was a wealthy person, and he injected a lot of money for research in this topic.
Right. Tom Slick's involvement in Bigfoot lore became more widely known after his death in 1962, when writer Ivan T. Sanderson published The Search for the Abominable Snowman and Tom Slick and the Search for the Yeti, books detailing Slick's expedition. Sanderson describes Slick as a key figure who financially and passionately supported cryptid research. Slick's like, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Did a lot of reading of Ivan T. Sanderson's books when I was in high school. He had a lot of older books in the library. And good stuff. Great writer.
Yes, he did die in a plane crash.
Yes. So, folks, if you ever become a millionaire,
and he's not related to Slick, the wrestling manager, either.
Yeah, don't fly in an airplane if you're rich. Never works out.
I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna drive a car.
Yeah, I kind of like flying. The last time I flew, though, I went from Louisville to Philadelphia, and it was very uncomfortable. One of those little small planes. I hate those things. I want to on a big, 747 or something. Those are comfortable. Like you're riding around in the house. Those little planes are all up. Just like a bus. Or no, there's not as much room on one of those small planes as there is a regular Greyhound bus. I learned from now on, I don't get a window seat because I'm always kind of like leaning over.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Pacific expedition, the Northwest expedition, rather. It was one of the earliest organized searches for Bigfoot. The expedition focused on Bluff Creek, California, which had become a particular hotspot for Bigfoot activity. This was the same region where the mysterious footprints were discovered in 1958 by Jerry Crew. And Slick hired and collaborated with local hunters, loggers, trackers to comb through the dense forest and search evidence. He relied on their knowledge of the terrain and animal behavior. The team aimed to gather physical evidence such as tracks, hair samples, or sightings. Although no definitive proof was obtained, the expedition did bring further attention to the Bigfoot phenomenon. During the expedition, large footprints were reportedly discovered. These tracks added to growing lore around the Bigfoot, around Buff Creek, and yada yada.
Well, did Tom Slick finance Peter Byrne on some expeditions he did?
Yeah, he was part of that Northwest expedition.
Mm-hmm.
So Tom Slick died in a tragic plane crash on October 6, 1962, at the age of 46. He was flying in a Beechcraft Model 18 twin-engine aircraft over Montana when the plane encountered problems and crashed.
Yeah.
Slick was reportedly returning from a hunting trip in Canada. The crash occurred near Dell, Montana. There were several other passengers on the plane, and unfortunately, there were no survivors.
Now, there used to be some guys that ran a small taxi service. They would fly you down to from Alamogordo, New Mexico, to El Paso, Texas, to the airport, and they were called Alamogordo Airways, and they were like single-engine Cessnas and stuff. Boy, you hit a pocket of unstable air in one of those things. It was like, whoa! Everybody, we kind of nicknamed them on the base. Instead of Alamogordo Airways, we called them Alamogordo Airways.
Well, you want to hear? I'll tell you another interesting story real quick. Here's an interesting thing. Due to Tom Slick's adventurous lifestyle, wealth, and involvement in mysterious endeavors like cryptozoology, rumors and conspiracy theories had circulated about the nature of his death. Some speculated that foul play could have been involved, especially given his interest in unexplored phenomenon and his connection to powerful individuals. However, no concrete evidence has supported these theories, and the official cause remains a plane crash, likely due to mechanical failure or pilot error. So even conspiracy theory struck back then.
Yeah, they weren't as easy to get going though back then. That took a lot of going. There wasn't much communication. Now, you turn on your computer and you're connected with the world.
Right.
The world is a smaller place now.
Right. Okay. All right. Next question, guys. Here we go. Hang on. Let's get the. What do we have here? Do we have anything we can? All right.
Tom Slick is definitely a hero to cryptozoologists everywhere. Matter of fact, next time I'm in the area, if he's buried in Texas, I may look up his burial site and go place some flowers or something in recognition.
All right, next question. Here we go. Good. Next question. Here we are. That'll wake people up. Okay. Chris, you're going to call the chat room.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We ready?
All right. Everybody ready in chat? Get your fingers ready on the number 1 button.
Which United States state has the largest number of reported Bigfoot sightings to date? Which U.S. state has the largest number of reported Bigfoot sightings to date?
Uh-oh. We have... Who was that? Was that Daniel?
That was Daniel.
Okay. Daniel.
Okay. Go ahead, Daniel.
Go ahead, Daniel. Oh. Daniel says Washington. Yeah.
Ow, wow. That really resonated there. But that is correct, down you're right. Now, just Steve, you gotta okay, for those just coming in, you gotta follow the rules. Do not blurt the answers in chat. If you want to answer the question, the first one to throw up a number 1 in the chat will be called upon.
I love this. We got a lot of second place. Jay Fritz pops up and says it's Hawaii.
Right. Rhode Island.
Grant Rocker with Rhode Island. Yeah, he's just kidding. We know. But those are pretty good answers.
And we know it's not New Hampshire because all the New Hampshire Sasquatches right now are in Florida, right, Chuck? But too late, just Steve, too late.
All right, just Steve got it. That's a preemptive one, maybe. It's for the next question, maybe.
Chappaquiddick. Okay, here we go. Next question.
Bad mom. Next one.
All right, next question. Here we are. What year did the reality show Finding Bigfoot first air? What year?
Have your fingers
did the
on
reality show Finding Bigfoot first air?
I don't know if this would count.
Just a 1.
Who cares? Oh, we got Susie Monster.
Okay, go ahead, Susie Monster. You call it out when she says it.
Susie, where you at? 2011. She got it.
That is correct.
Excellent.
All right, here we go.
That mom says the Beatles.
That's right. All right. Finding Bigfoot aired from 2011 for 9 seasons.
Yeah. And
okay.
We had, before the first show started, we had Cliff Barrickman on talking about the new Bigfoot show, Finding Bigfoot, coming on. Yep. Great times. Cliff's a great guy.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're all familiar. Well, I'm not, you know what? That one question about the Bigfoot statue, since there's so many of them now, I'm not going to ask that one.
Yeah, that's pretty difficult. But it is one of the most prominent in the U.S.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. All right. In which Canadian province was the creature called Sasquatch first documented? In which Canadian province was the creature called Sasquatch first documented?
Okay. Fingers on the number 1 button. Oh, Mick is first up.
All right, Mick, go right ahead.
What was it, Mick? Tell us.
Get me a Snapple.
British Columbia.
That is correct.
All right, Mick. Dude, this guy knows about Canada. I mean, you know, it's almost like he's from there.
Canadian?
We love you, Mick.
How many provinces are there in Canada? Wait. No, I have no idea.
Oh, no.
What is the nickname given to the Bigfoot legend, particularly around the Ozarks? Which nickname is given to the Bigfoot legend, particularly around the Ozarks?
The nickname given to Bigfoot around the Ozarks. Oh, let's see. Oh, Mick is up again. Mick, what is the nickname that people have given Bigfoot around the Ozarks area? Oh, Mick says booger.
Nope. Do we have another number one?
Next up was
Danny Weeks.
Daniel Weeks. Yeah.
Daniel, go right ahead.
Let's see. Okay, we're gonna go on Daniel time to type. It's okay. Booger. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. No, it's not booger. But if you were thinking around the Missouri area, there's a specific name around that area, but it's not booger. Okay, I don't know. We may have stumped everybody, Steve. We may have got them. Let's see. Who's the next? Tennessee Cherokee. Tennessee Cherokee was the next one.
Okay, go Tennessee Cherokee. It's all you.
It was the name given to Bigfoot in the Ozarks area of the United States, around Missouri, that area. Tennessee Cherokee says Ozark Howler. You know, I don't know. That's really technically
the one we were actually looking for is Momo.
Yeah, it is Momo.
That was where it was in the Momo was in the particularly in the Ozarks around Missouri. But the Ozark Howler, that's a good one.
That's a good one too. So yeah, I think technically he got it. You know, I think so.
Yeah, we'll give it to him.
That was the one. Yeah,
we'll give it to him.
That was kind of closer to Arkansas, but you know, close enough. Close enough.
Okay, we ready for the next one? All right. What creature, often linked to folklore, resembles a smaller version of Bigfoot and is said to inhabit parts of Indonesia? What creature, often linked to folklore, resembles a smaller version of Bigfoot and is said to inhabit parts of Indonesia?
Fingers on the button. Where's those number ones at? Tennessee Cherokee. Number one. Okay, let us know, Tennessee Cherokee.
Did Grant just spill that word?
Grant, I think, can't say yet. Yep. Tennessee Cherokee says orang pendek. Yeah, that's right.
That's right, correct.
Excellent. Very difficult word. But he's like a miniature version of Bigfoot out there, supposedly to this day.
So let's talk first on a couple of topics here. So the description of orang pendek is typically described as a short bipedal ape-like creature. It's 3 to 5 feet tall, covered in short, dark, or reddish-brown fur with a human-like face. Witnesses report that it walks upright like a human. It appears to be strong and muscular, despite its strong stature. Orang pendek is said to be shy and avoids humans. It is reportedly intelligent and moves quietly through the jungle. Witnesses often describe as elusive with fleeting sightings. Indigenous tribes like the Suku Anak Dalam have long spoken of the orang pendek as a real creature. They consider it a forest-dwelling humanoid that lives alongside wildlife in Sumatra. Western interest in the orang pendek began during the Dutch colonial period of the 20th century. Reports emerged from travelers and settlers who claimed to have seen a small, upright, ape-like creature.
These little creatures could be linked directly to Homo floresiensis.
Yep. British researcher and conservationist Debbie Martyr spent years in the Sumatran jungles during the 1990s. Martyr claimed multiple sightings of the orangutan and collected reports from locals. Her descriptions were consistent with earlier accounts. So, cryptozoologists such as Adam Davies and others have led expeditions for the orangutan while they have gathered evidence and footprints. Definitive proof remains unlike. That's right, Adam Davies.
When you consider great leaders of men, you often think of people like Alexander the Great, Napoleon, Winston Churchill, but in recent times, there's Steve Kulls, the Sasquatch Detective.
That's right. Thank you, Adam.
Oh God, that was good. Adam Davies.
Adam is, he's hysterical. He is just such a great guy. If you ever meet him and hang out with him at a conference, it's like the guy you've known all your life.
Yeah. Grant says, I remember that Finding Bigfoot episode when they were looking for the orangutan. Bobo kept falling and had a monk spit on his ankle to heal him.
So let's talk about some of the. We talked earlier about Momo. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some of the Momo sightings. The most famous Momo sightings occurred in July 1972 in, if this isn't a screwy name of a town, Louisiana, Missouri.
Yeah.
Right. Terry Harrison and his siblings, 3 children, Terry, Wally, and Doris. Harrison reported seeing a large hairy creature near their home, carrying a dead dog under its arm. The initial sighting set off a flurry of reports and media attention. Residents in the area reported a strong putrid stench and hearing bizarre growling noises in the woods near the Harrison property. The sightings sparked widespread interest, attracting media outlets and local enthusiasts who combed the forest to find evidence of Momo. The case even drew the attention of the local sheriff's offices, but no definitive evidence like tracks or physical proof was discovered.
Was Momo reported to be a white Bigfoot? Or
No.
am I thinking of?
No.
I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of that Fort Worth. That's what
Fort Worth monster, yes.
Yeah. Momo.
So, who's up next here?
Next question.
Now, this is a tricky one. What nickname was given to a Bigfoot-like creature seen near Fouke, Arkansas in the 1970s?
Oh.
Trick question here.
Fingers on number 1 there. What nickname was given to a Bigfoot near the Fouke, Arkansas area? Weird. Oh, Jen's got it. All right, Jen. Lay it on.
Here comes the answer.
And Jen is typing furiously. The Fouke monster.
That is correct. Yeah. Well, that says the Fouke monster.
That's kind of like the chalk monster, but we'll take it.
No, the Fouke monster. The Fouke monster, Columbo. You know.
Yeah, Fouke monster. Yeah,
Fouke monster. Although the Fouke monster was Columbia. It was Columbo, right?
The caulk monster. Hire him in the fall to do up your windows and doors.
Right. You have a leak, he takes care of it. Okay.
Grant got it. It's the Fouke monster. Spelling matters. That's right, Grant. We don't count off for spelling, though, because we know how keyboards and autocorrect are.
Okay, here's the tough one of the day. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Drum roll.
What Native American tribe shares stories of the Sasquatch, a similar creature to Bigfoot.
What? Read that again.
Which Native American tribe shares story of the Sasquatch? So, Sasquatch?
Oh my gosh. Okay, this one got me.
Sasquatch, creature similar to Bigfoot. I'm going to type that one in here and get a little more on that story.
Yeah, I'm out on that one. You guys got your finger on number one there. You're going to beat me because I don't know. No. Bat Mom says me. Okay, well.
Wow.
Go ahead. That'll work instead of a one. Go ahead. Me.
Somebody answering?
Somebody type in the answer. I have no idea on this one whatsoever. Well, Grant popped up.
Ooh, Ojibwa. That's interesting. But no.
Yeah.
Actually, my original answer was incorrect.
Bat Mom says it has my name.
Okay, so the Sasquatch is a creature of folklore from the Alice First Nation, formerly known as the Chehalis people of British Columbia, Canada. It is considered to be wild, hairy, humanoid being that bears striking similarities to modern descriptions of Bigfoot or Sasquatch. They are described as a large, hair-covered humanoid that works upright like a man, but has ape-like features. It is often said to be very tall and strong, with long arms, and a powerful build. Unlike the typical savage beast image as often seen in modern Bigfoot lore, this creature is described as an intelligent and spiritual being.
Wow.
It's an integral part of the Chehalis people's oral tradition. It is often regarded as the guardian of the forests. It's not merely an animal, but a spiritual entity, sometimes associated with the supernatural. Of course, so is the wolf and the eagle and all of that. So,
wow, that was a good one, man. That stumped me. I'm like, oh no, I'm out. But, hey, I'm surprised some of our resident Canadians didn't get that one, but not really. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, yeah. All right. I know some of them are tough, some of them are easy.
Yeah.
So let's go to a little bit of an easier one. Yeah.
Oh, there's Matt. Central Kentucky Bigfoot now.
Matt, Central Kentucky Bigfoot.
Hey, Matt. We have to change that name, bud.
All right. This one's, what is the name of the documentary series produced by Small Town Monsters that covers Bigfoot sightings? What is the name of the documentary series produced by Small Town Monsters that covers Bigfoot sightings? Throw a number 1 in the chat if you know the answer. First one gets called up. We'll wait. Everybody's trying to upload their answers right now.
Daniel says one. Bat Mom says Finding Monsters. Well, Jen gave us a super sticker for $1.99. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Well, Jen knows we're getting close to the deadline there for that. We'll stand. You know, there's 2. They had 3 the other night, so there's 5. We're good.
Grant Rasha popped up.
Oh, there you go, Grant. Got it.
Oh, I think Jay knew it too.
I know Grant's not following the rules.
That's a right answer, Grant. Just go ahead and type in a 1 before you give your answer.
On the trail of Bigfoot, yes, correct.
Yeah. Yeah, just type in 1 and then the answer. That'll work. That'll work.
Now, given what we've talked about on this channel before and the popularity of Alaska in Bigfoot lore, we're going to ask this question. This is another tough one, but I think y'all be able to get it. Or you'll go, oh yeah, that's right. What is the name of the alleged Bigfoot-like creature of native Alaskan legend? What is the name of the alleged Bigfoot creature of the native Alaskan legend? And we've seen that in Alaskan Killer Bigfoot, that first of a show, but
we're still getting answers on the other one.
That's Beyond the Trail. That's Alex's little spinoff. Are we still
on the trail? Yeah. Okay.
All right. The next question is, what is the name of the alleged Bigfoot-like creature of native Alaskan legend? Come on, folks. You guys can get this. Maybe.
Oh, Jay popped up. It says
Muckaluk.
Whatever. That's a chainsaw, isn't it? McCulloch.
Now, guys, again, if you need the answer, put a 1 in the chat, but just don't spit them out.
Susie Monster. Susie Monster, $2.
Thank you, Susie Monster.
Thank you.
Nothing. All right.
Mick. We can't put that in there, Mick. I get where you're going with that.
Joan, get me a Snapple.
All right. Here. All right.
I don't know either. Bad mom, don't feel bad. I don't know. This one got me.
We stumped them again. All right. It is called the Kushtaka, also known as the Tlingit Otterman. But the Kushtaka is typically depicted as a shapeshifter that can transform between human form and other otter form, or human otter hybrid, believe it or not. And that's what they were talking about in the Killer Alaskan Bigfoot.
Kind of sounds like they borrowed something from the Skinwalker legend there, too.
A little bit, yeah. So, one of the most feared powers of the Kushtaka is its ability to transform humans into Kushtaka, preventing their souls from reaching the afterlife.
Oh. That would be... Yeah. You're an otter, and you're not going to reach the afterlife either.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Very bad. That's not a good way to go. Oh yeah, and those Alaskan Bigfoots that burn your house down too. I saw in that last documentary there.
Don't get me laughing.
Those guys are bad news, man. I mean, you know.
They're arsonists.
Yes, absolutely. We have video proof. According to that documentary.
Yes.
Oh, Jay. Oh my goodness.
What?
Jay gave it $10.
Oh,
thank you. You kind.
Okay, so let's see where we got. What else?
Arsonist, Bigfoot. You know that would kind of suggest that these things had a knowledge of fire, which, you know, I'm sure they know what fire is, but they probably don't know how to use it. Mike Stedden comes in and says, utterly ridiculous.
Agreed.
That's good. I love that sense of humor. Thanks, Mike.
And as we know that, there are a lot of Native Americans, first tribes, they all gave a lot of spiritual being to a lot of these different animals, the eagles, the wolves, the bears. They all had souls and spirituality, and especially the wolves. So, all right.
Bat Mom, and for everybody listening on the podcast, Bat Mom says, I would be so embarrassed to turn into an otter. I would be like, what? I joined the dark side to be an otter?
Well, maybe you like fish.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if I could turn into a creature that would just keep shuffling pizzas into my mouth, I would turn into that.
Yeah, those little rats, aren't those the same little creatures that will like get a river clam or a mussel on their belly and then go crack it open with a rock?
Yep,
that'd be pretty intelligent.
And they are awfully friendly. I've seen a couple of otters when I went to the Jacksonville Zoo, and they would come right up to you.
Thank you, Daniel. Oh, Patty. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
wow. $20. So much. Miss Lindsay. Thank you.
There's some other rejected questions, too, that I rejected for this.
Well, the names are kind of difficult questions, too, because there's so many different names around the United States. Like I know in Kentucky, they call them boogers here, and they also call them the white thing. What is it? Some places over in eastern Kentucky call them wild woolly bully. Or they call them a woolly booger, stuff like that. So the names are kind of difficult.
Don't forget the Heidi behinds.
Do what?
The Heidi behinds.
Oh, the Heidi behinds. Yes. You get that, hear that noise behind you while you're walking, and when you stop, it'll stop. Yeah, that happens.
Give me 1 second, Chris.
Go ahead, Steve. Jay Fritz said 4 people. Yep. Oh, wow. Nick says sea otters are actually vicious. They've been known to bite humans pretty badly. Sweet looking little things to be vicious. Probably won't be petting one with that in mind, though. Thank you, Mick. Wood otter. Okay. Can anybody identify this piece of classic orchestral music? We don't have any river otters around in this area, Danny. No. We have things called muskrat. I think it's not similar. Oh no. They jump on our kayaks in Monterey many times. Well, I wonder if they're doing it for meanness, or they're just trying to catch a ride, after swimming so long. No, I don't think that was the Marriage of Figaro, Nick. I believe that was Beethoven's Fifth. Kalana Opry and Libro Esanga. Oh, okay. I don't think that was it. After floating on his back with a shell on his belly, he's supposed to be. Wait a minute. Jen says otter floating on his back with a shell on his belly is supposed to be good luck. Totem carving. I don't know.
We're still talking about this otter.
Yeah. They all taste like chicken. We had a little debate on what was that music piece? Was that the fifth of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Maybe some night we should do a music appreciation course on Squatch-D TV.
That's right.
Believe it or not, I'm a hillbilly, but I really know how to appreciate that stuff. I like it. One of the easy courses I took in college. Music appreciation.
God, I wanted to keep this Bigfoot trivia. Now we've gone into music trivia.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my goodness! I'm an Otter Jug Band Christmas.
Jug Band Christmas. That's right. At least there ain't no hole in the wash tub, Grant.
And the hole in the wash tub.
Oh, you had to see it to get that. At least there ain't no hole in the wash tub. And what did Emmett do? He put a hole in the wash tub to make a bass instrument out of it. Yes.
He didn't even have money to buy another wash tub.
Oh, it's pretty bad.
All right. How about an easy question? Because that's all we got left. These are so ridiculous. They were either ridiculously hard or ridiculously easy.
Put one out. What year did Squatch Detective Radio first air?
There you go. There's an answer. What year did we first air? There's a good trivia question. Let's put that one out there.
Yeah. What year did Squatch Detective Radio first air? Daniel's got it. What is it, Daniel? What year did Squatch Detective Radio first air? 2007.
Nope.
Jay Fritz. Go ahead, Jay. What is it, man? What year did Squatch Detective Radio first air? And 1852. Let's see. Grant, Russia. Well, I'm going to put this up. November 8th, 2006.
We will go with that. Yes, the first airing of Squatch Detective Radio was September 24th, 2006.
The year is correct.
That's how long we've been at this.
Well, Steve, now that was prior to me. I didn't come around till around 2010. So, yeah. Steve's
been with us, 85, 90% of the time.
Yeah, well, I'm still a Johnny come lately.
Yeah, but you know what? You were the first one to come to the video side.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately for everybody at home, sorry guys. I have a face for radio, and I know it.
I don't know. I go to the doctor. I say, "Doctor." Every morning I get up, I look in the mirror, I turn around a little while later, I throw up. What's the matter with me? He goes, "I don't know, but your eyesight's perfect."
Get no respect.
Yeah, I went to the dentist. He told me to bend over and say ah.
Well, the early version of Squatch Detective Radio was basically a phone call on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, everything was connected through the phones.
Yeah, and it was kind of different, when you think about it. At that time, that was cutting edge technology. But now, when we look back today, it's like kind of that was.
And then they eventually integrated Skype into it.
Yeah,
which worked really well.
Yeah,
because you could have studio quality microphones on Skype. But because if you called in, it's not like everybody was. It sounded like a phone conversation, like the first how many episodes? I mean, we did the John Green tribute, and we left my questions out to John, just John answering it, but my audio was the same as his. It sounds like you're on the you're on the telephone. So
yeah.
Eventually, it did get better with Skype, but when in 2019 we decided to move to YouTube.
Yeah.
And I'm kicking myself in the ass for not doing it a couple of years earlier. But
at the time, I don't think YouTube was live streaming though.
They were, but But the thing is there is a lot of processes. Like there was a time we had moved from Blog Talk Radio to the Paranormal TV network.
Yes, we were.
They had all this complicated software that we could not get to run on our computers, but for some reason, because they had older computers, they could get it to run on theirs.
Yeah.
Right. So we had a producer that was off-site that would turn us on to the air, and then Chris used to get really annoyed because every once in a while she would butt in.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody, was like, what? But, we were there for about 3 months. And then the owner of the company that asked us to come to the network turned around and was like, I'm sorry, I'm stepping down. This guy's going to take over. But I'm stepping down because I want to take care of my grandkids. And, this guy takes over and we don't ever hear from the guy, and I was like, yeah, done. Oh. We went back to Blog Talk for another number of years.
Yeah. The Blog Talk stuff was okay. But, after we went to the Paranormal TV network, man, I really enjoyed that because we could actually, if we were talking about a new video that had come out, we could actually show the video or the photograph, and talk about it.
But the technology that sprung us into this was the invention of StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
And when StreamYard came about, it was starting to pick up. I was like, damn, this is nice. It's not expensive. We can do all. And now it's expensive, of course. It was cheaper than Blog Talk Radio. It's not now, but I'm kind of loving this system. Plus, let me explain that when we were at Blog Talk, it was literally, I think if I saw $100 from Blog Talk over all the years I was with them, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, it was amazing. Blog Talk, it was neat while it was there, but it was filled with a lot of false and phony promises made to the people that were running the shows. When they first came up, this is a partnership. This is,
Thank you so much, Patty. You've spent some time with the folks. We appreciate you.
Yes, we do. We appreciate it.
Thank you again.
It's on replay. But they were like, they were originally like, oh, geez, this is a partnership, and we're gonna split the ad revenue with you. And then they changed that. They completely changed it. They were trying to say, oh, well, you get paid on, well, do you guys get paid on the clicks? Well, they wouldn't answer that.
You come on in here and you join with us, and we're going to split this ad revenue with you, buddy.
Yes, we provide the platform. You provide the talent and the creativity, and it's a big partnership. And then when the ad revenue finally started to come in, we saw, cents on the dollar, right?
Yeah.
If that, half cents on the dollar.
That was the thing.
And then they turn around and say, oh, by the way, you're going to have to pay to broadcast on our channel now.
Yeah. Well, that's. I guess some people do that when they're building up a new service,
right? But to lie like that,
yeah, it's pretty bad.
Well, where are they now? Where are they now?
Now that's true. That's true. Karma,
Where are you now? Nobody listens to Blog Talk. Everybody goes to YouTube.
Was your show on after Les Nessman? Yes, considerably a lot longer after Les Nessman. If you're talking about the Les from WKRP.
I swear to God, I thought turkeys could fly.
Oh, what a classic.
But,
yeah, so I've never seen that. We download or watched it on YouTube a while back. I think it was Andy and Jared were here. They had never seen that before. Right. So we watched the Thanksgiving episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. It was hilarious.
And right now we really don't have a big audience tonight. It's Wednesday night. It's a week. It's 7 days to Christmas. Yeah. It wasn't really a hot topic. However, Sunday night, our last show before the holiday, we have our returning guest and very controversial guest always is Jay Pachochin.
Oh, Jay. Yeah.
Jay will be coming on. He'll be talking about Finding J3, which again, I'm part of.
Oh, cool.
And we will be doing that. Of course, we did Beyond the Trail. There was, if anybody has not seen the Beyond the Trail about the Adirondacks and the Bigfoot in New York, check it out. Me and Paul Bartholomew kind of, it's like a 50-50 thing between me and Paul talking about Bigfoot in New York and Alex's, really great piece of work there. Very enjoyable. So,
now, was that Alex Petrikoff's work, or is that Small Town Monsters, or
both? It's Alex. Alex Petrikoff is one of the filmmakers for that, as is Eli as well. Watson. Eli Watson.
Good stuff. Good documentaries.
Yep.
Well worth the watch.
Right. And you know what? They some people say that, well, some of their stuff is kind of, a little bit wooish. They just let people talk. But the big thing is they don't make up stuff. They don't provoke stuff that happens. It's just a straight documentary. Right. And, it's good to see that people consistently making documentaries and good to see that Seth is, has in, throughout the term made this company out from the ground up.
Yeah. Traditionally, Seth Breedlove has really put together some great stuff.
Right.
I mean, everything that I've watched has been enjoyable. Now I've watched a lot of the newer Bigfoot documentaries over the years, and some of them is just a guy with a shaky camera out, and it's not very well edited or anything. But you don't get that with the Small Town Monster stuff. Seth Breedlove puts together a good documentary. Yeah. Alex is great.
Yep. And what I enjoy about Small Town Monsters is that their love of New York. Seth loved the story of Whitehall, and it kind of got Alex the bug a bit.
Yeah.
About Whitehall, so he loves coming up here. The Whitehall Sasquatch Calling Festival is on Alex's radar every year.
Right. Oh, that's great.
And the interesting thing too is, of course, next year we have that great event, the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Camping Adventure, which they've moved now to the end of August as opposed to September or late September.
Yeah.
Get a little bit warmer weather, a little bit better weather.
That's good. Right? Yeah, you start in September, you start getting cold mornings.
Yeah. But have you seen the new lineup he has coming on there too? Mm-hmm. He's got Lyle Blackburn coming as well.
Oh, great.
Ron Moorhead.
Oh, yeah. Ron's a great guy.
And he just announced Dr. Jeff Meldrum as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great turnout. It's going to be a great event. Plus you got the Ames guys. You got, Jeffro and Willie coming as well. Probably Dave Spinks and his wonderful stuff. Ron Murphy, Dr. Brian Parsons, Jay Bachochin will be there, and of course yours truly and Eric. And it's gonna be a great event. And
we had, Alex Petrikoff was on the show here a while back, and he showed us a wonderful bunch of photographs that he had taken from his time in Alaska.
Right.
I really enjoyed those. Those are awesome. That's
so
the state I want to go to.
A lot of people, they hear me on the mic here, and I am just using my own voice. But believe it or not, I can use my own voice and talk like an announcer at any time I please. And that was something coming out of my band days, not band-aids, band days that I've used to learn to mic, to inflect, and to use as like an instrument almost. But yes, this is the Sasquatch walking across the plain. Notice how the photographer is taking aim very silently and gently.
Well, I could narrate a hillbilly documentary and be right at home.
Yeah. Yes, and Grant and anybody that has not seen the video of the New Hampshire investigation breakdown that's on this channel, we have some of Alex's drone video on there because Alex and I and Crystal Panic, we had on March. I remember the date on March 3rd, 2024, just a little under a year ago. We had gone out to New Hampshire to investigate these alleged films of this guy. Turns out it's all nonsense. But so Alex threw his drone up, and that conclusively showed what this guy was looking at. And Crystal found the spot. So again,
I love the drone shots too.
The big thing people have to remember is that to be a good investigator, you have to surround yourselves with good people. That's part of the process. Investigations are a team effort. And whether it's gathering a piece of evidence to send it off to a good lab or a good scientist or evaluated by a good other researcher that's really knowledgeable, that's really important. People don't know that I probably review, I don't think Chris even knows this, is that I am constantly being asked to review, and I'm constantly reviewing people's Bigfoot evidence, sending it to me. I've been I've been kind of a console to Jay Petrochin out there, out in Wisconsin. I help out John Wilk from Squatch very often. And occasionally Matt Moneymaker will call me up and ask me what I think about something as well. Right. So there's just, and then, the audience, people in the audience will send me clips and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And, a lot of people, part of this show, we do a lot of debunking, but that's not what I want the show to be completely about. So a lot of people will send me a lot of videos that they know are garbage and say, hey, what do you think of this one? Ha ha ha. And I understand that. And I do appreciate that because every once in a while there is a gem in there that I really want to tear into. For example, the guy a couple of weeks ago that was the lying guy. That was a beautiful example. Hey, this is great. This is exactly what we need to expose. Right. But there's a lot of other, other pictures, videos, stuff like that. I'm like, And once in a while when we really want to do a analysis show, which 9 times out of 10, they turn out to be negative connotation. We do it. But the reason why we don't do it as much now is because we don't want to get that stigma of being a negative channel.
Right. And we've also looked at some things that we've liked. There were some thermal footage pieces we looked at. It's been a while ago now, but they look pretty good.
Phil Poling from Para Breakdown saw our video on the Sasquatch in Canada walking along the road that went into the woods. And he had some concerns about that. And he did a video, sent the link on there. It's in the commentary. Check it out. He has kind of a different opinion on things, but they're very, very subjective. You know, it's really hard. Like I said, the whole thing was subjective in that particular video. And that's the other thing too, is when you run a channel like this, you're in front of, you don't know how many people you're in front of, right?
Yeah.
And you have to make a phone call, or rather not a phone call, but you have to make a call on what you feel about this is or isn't. And a lot of times, because that's what people expect, that's what people want. You know, Steve, what's your gut feeling? And when we did that video, it was like, there's really not enough information to go either way on it. You know, on the surface, okay, it looks good, it looks fine, but you know, is there something else? There's just not enough information. We call it indeterminate, but you know, do we feel positively negative? This one, I'm like 50-50 on. There's other films, you know, we're never 100% on any films whatsoever. Patterson Gimlin probably is the number one film for me that I feel positive about. I was feeling positive about the Freeman film up until something very interesting, and I showed Chris the other thing, and it kind of we see that, and we're kind of like, and what that particularly covers is the first video that Freeman had done several months before the famous one.
Right.
And that one was kind of buried for the longest time. But it to me, it looks like exactly like the film a few months later, except for it's way off in the distance. And what disturbs me about it is that the subject walks with the same gait as the first Bigfoot, or the well-known Bigfoot, rather.
Oh, you guys in chat are killing me. Well, we love Bobo.
And remember our guy that had the sighting where he was sleeping in sleeping in his SUV, and he looked out, and apparently, he has gone back to the area a few times now, and he's starting to feel comfortable. And he did a couple of follow-up videos of this, so you can check him out again. And he seems to have come to terms with that, and I really find that cool. He didn't answer my last email to him, which I kind of disappointed to him about. But I just said, hey, listen, anytime you want to come on. I'm glad to see you found peace. And there was no response to it, but oh well, whatever.
I watched the two follow-up videos he did on the area, and the area looks. It doesn't look like prime Bigfoot habitat, but you know, it's anything's possible,
right?
And he asked the right questions too. He's like, "Well, I don't understand where something that tall could be hiding around here."
Right.
You know?
Hey,
and more than likely, it wasn't. It was just passing through that area.
Right.
It was interesting.
Yeah, so there's a lot on there that really makes me, as far as the Freeman film is concerned, like,
You brought up Patterson Gimlin, and there we go.
Yep.
Excuse me, we got a Patterson Gimlin debate going on in the chat room now.
What's that? I don't see it.
Well, it's not a debate.
Oh.
Questionable. So Patty isn't questionable. No one can walk like that. All the people that said they were in costume had no idea where it was filmed. And a lot of that's true, Grant. Yeah.
Well, people always ask. Now, okay. So now let's go off the record a bit with the audience.
Okay.
Even though it's kind of on the record, but it's kind of off. You want my opinion. You just want my plain opinion. Not based on any fact, but just based on my intuition as an investigator. Now's your time to ask your question on anything you want. Right? So go right ahead. Ask me, and I'm going to give you my honest answer and my open answer, like it or not. and that's kind of a challenge because I try to be kind of politically correct to a lot of people. But the work Bill Munns did, phenomenal work. Lazy Cowboy did phenomenal work too on doing a reconstruction of some things too as well.
Yes.
So shout out to Lazy Cowboy for his work there.
Very cool recreation he did. A lot of work went into that.
Yep.
But Bill Munns, definitely. Bill is one of my biggest man crushes for the work he did on Patterson-Gimlin film. He took a first generation copy, I think it was, and scanned it frame by frame digital. And wow.
Okay, so 2 questions. One from Grant. What about the Florida night vision video? I don't know. I simply don't know. I've talked to Stacy about it. He doesn't seem like he's a bullshitter to me. Pardon the French. Again, there's our PG-13. I don't know. And he wasn't alone. He was with his father. His father passed away. So I know the late, great Bill Drain Guinness had some issues with it based upon some FLIR stuff, but I don't know. So it is what it is as far as that concerned. I don't really think about it either way. I think Danny Weeks asked me, I think you're still a no on the Independence Day video. Yeah, that is CGI. I've proven that. If you watch the video breakdown of the Independence footage on the channel, it was one of the standalone videos. I haven't done a standalone video in a while. We've been concentrating on just podcasting. Because the standalone videos are kind of like hit or miss, and most of the time miss for whatever reason. So the podcasts do extremely well.
I never liked the Independence Day footage.
In fact, you can see areas where the body is in front of the rock in one frame and then behind the rock, and it's only for a brief second. And that is indicative of CGI. Yeah, Jay, I didn't scientifically analyze it. I looked at it, looked interesting. All right, whatever.
Lazy Cowboys was just that was some video stuff he put together, an animation that wasn't any sort of research. It was just if you're talking about the same video that I'm talking about, Jay, that was the one where he did the Patterson-Gimlin video from Patty's. That's
there it is. What do you think about the siege at Honubby?
Oh.
Now, there is a story for the ages, and some of your old timers might remember this. So, what do I think about it? Makes a lot of sense. The landowner, his name was Michael Humphreys, invited a couple of BFRO investigators on the property. The investigators witnessed things. Very interesting conclusions. Made a lot of sense. Made a lot of sense about what we see in the field now, about people reporting, their deer taken. Like, I downed a deer, I can't find it. It looked like it was dragged off, or just there it was. You can see the spot, but it looks like something just carried it off. It's gone. Makes a lot of sense. And again, Mike Humphreys, and those were the days before the vast internet or social media. This happened, I think, in the early to mid 90s, right?
When was that?
I think it was 94. I think it was 94. And Don, I'm going to get to your question in a second.
Let's see.
So, Danny,
January 2000, Steve. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, it was right. Yeah, we're right at the last part of the 90s there.
right. So yeah. So this is before now, right? Yep. So what had occurred was that the people on the property claimed that they were taking shots at the Bigfoot and they were not moving, and there were several of them that would show up there at night. And they could see the shines of their eyes, and they could see the shadows moving, and something was raiding their deer lockers, and something was taking their deer. They would down a deer, and they'd go out there to get the deer, and the deer would be gone. And this has been going on, and there's other stuff too. That in talking to Mike Humphreys personally, not over the phone, but over we had years ago we had an email exchange. And he says, "Oh yeah," he goes, "It was a little worse than I actually made it out to be. They were, up on their porch. They were rattling windows. A lot of, very much like the Falk, Arkansas type of scenario.
Mm.
They were bold, is what they were. They were bold. That's how he put it. So it is what it is, and I think it's one of those cases like Falk, Arkansas, where we see sometimes this collision of somebody living rurally colliding with a group of these creatures that, hey, let's do this. Who's going to care? I mean,
well, can I give you my opinion?
go. Hang on, Chris. Hang on. 1 second. Here we go. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I've always thought it was highly unlikely that a group of deer hunters that are used to killing deer with high-powered rifles would be frightened of Bigfoots harassing them. Because me personally, if I was being harassed by Bigfoot and I had my trusty high-powered rifle at hand, I don't think Bigfoot is. Matter of fact, I think the mystery is probably going to be solved at that point. And this turned out to be a very long story with a lot of drama that was unnecessary.
Well, I tend to. There was a lot of drama but the fact is, we had a third party that came in and observed the same thing. In fact, there was other third parties that had come in and observed the same thing. And the fact was, they weren't out there hunting. They were actually shooting the deer from their porch.
Yeah,
because they had. So I don't know.
If I could shoot a deer from my porch, I could probably shoot anything else from my porch.
Right.
No, that's just me.
Yeah, and then again, Grant said one they wouldn't be, but more than one could scare them, and they would always say there was multiples.
Possible.
Yep.
Possible.
I don't know if I had run into one, and I've run into one a couple of times. I was never scared, but if there was like 3 of them standing there, I'd be like,
yeah.
Because now I'm at a tactical disadvantage,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know. It's your opinion. It's that's what we're doing. We're just throwing out opinions.
That's not I'm not representing the channel here. This is just Chris's opinion. It just seems a little fishy to me. That's all. Now, could it have happened? Absolutely. It could all be gospel. I don't know. I wasn't there. That's the problem. Because I wasn't there, and because I didn't see that with my own 2 peepers there.
Right.
Me knowing what I know about what Chris would think and do is different from what someone else may think or do. But just a little questionable.
And there have been reports of Bigfoot on porches. We had one in Vermont on the Gaelic Preserved.
Grasshopper sieged some Oreos a minute ago.
Well, I tell you what, after the show, I have some kielbasa and pierogies sitting in the fridge that we all got to take home some food after the Christmas party today. And I have one. That's right.
Well, I can get being frightened by these creatures. Yes, even if you have a weapon with you, I can get being frightened, especially if there's more than one. But if there's more than one human there with more than one weapon, also, well,
I don't know. Even so, if you got 4 humans against 4 Bigfoot, you're like, I don't know about this. You would feel the same concern if you were facing off against 4 humans, wouldn't you?
well,
What if? Yeah.
No.
All right, Grant, you got to stop making me hungry here. Sausage and peppers. Oh, sour cream. Well, I don't have any sour cream at home. I just have, but yeah, why not? It depends on what kind of pierogies they are, Jen. If they're cheese pierogies, then the traditional are made with potato and maybe some chive in it. And yeah, definitely with sour cream. Oh.
I'm with you, Mick. I personally, I like the 50 BMG. We're not going to be discussing that, though.
Yeah, and you know what? Grass says I ran for my first Bigfoot encounter like a little girl. It still ticks me off when this thing. Yeah, and that is the psychology of Bigfoot.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yep, psychology of Bigfoot. That's the limbic system jumping in, saying, "Wait a minute, we're gonna get in front of that. We're gonna get in front of everything, and it's either flight or fight. You're gonna run. We've already the limbic system has already decided for you. Run.
Yeah. I haven't had a sighting since 2010, but even the last sighting I had to physically tell myself in my mind, do not run. But everything about me wanted to.
Yep. And the other thing too is I remember my first thought is better not panic because I'm not wearing an adult diaper.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's always the biggest fear of them all.
That's your brain trying to save your life.
Okay, other questions. Come on, throw them at me, guys. You're going to get my 100% opinion on anything tonight.
Ooh. How many humans are 8 foot plus? Not many.
Not many. Yeah. What's the world's fastest animal? The cheetah. Next. Remember that was a scene from one of my favorite all-time movies, the 1980 breakthrough hit for Leslie Nielsen, Airplane the movie. And remember the airport had an information booth, right? What time does the plane leave for Chicago? Oh, that's at 8:30. Yeah, can you tell me? Can I upgrade my seats if I go to the counter? Yes, you may. What's the world's fastest animal? The cheetah. Next. Yeah.
Hey, they were good, man. That's what I call information booths. They were good.
And I dare anybody out there in my audience right now, or not right now, but the next time they see an information booth, ask them for information about something that doesn't pertain to anything about where you are. Yeah, information booth. Yes. Can you tell me the atomic mass of hydrogen?
And most of the airports are so big now. It's like they need a information booth to ask where the information booth is at.
That reminds me, I don't know what they're doing at the Albany International Airport, but they keep adding and they're making it look like LaGuardia Airport. I mean, that big.
Right.
And the only thing international about Albany Airport is Canadian flights. They might have and they don't even really have commercial Canadian come in.
Yeah.
They have all the little guys come in. Oh, we're international. No, you're not. You have no international flights. You have no flights that directly connect, maybe to Canada. That's about it. So, oh, wow, you have a direct flight to Montreal, which is about a 45-minute flight.
Right.
Right? And you're going to call yourself an international airport for that?
Atlanta is a big one. And I was surprised by Philadelphia. That's a pretty good size airport. But Atlanta, boy, that's a monster.
That's right. Albany Airport does have a Chick-fil-A, which you can pick up your Chick-fil-A at 3 times the cost of a Chick-fil-A down the road.
Okay. Got a question for you, Steve. Who played Greg Brady?
That would be, Wow, Greg Brady, Greg. That's the oldest.
I'm gonna have to look it. I'll look it up. I have no idea. That was one of my
Barry.
favorite.
Hold on, Barry. I know his first name is Barry. Barry.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. I know it now because I looked it up.
I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Barry.
Barry Williams.
That's it, Barry Williams.
I did not remember that. I had to look. And even
well, you see, the interesting thing is the guy who played the head scientist on Space 1999 was Barry Morse, who was an English actor. Look at that. Martin Landau was Commander Koenig. His wife, Martin Landau's wife, Barbara Bain, played like the doctor, the medical doctor.
Yeah. Grasshopper says none of the Brady kids looked like their parents. That's true. They didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, but Dr. Melba Ketchum analyzed their DNA, and it turns out that they're a hybrid that came out about 15,000 years ago.
God, that explains it. I mean, Marcia she had some angel DNA in her, I believe.
Dan, not so much.
Oh.
But
related to Jan, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to look up ancestry, see if I'm related to Jan.
Okay, here's a trivia question for folks. What year was the first Bigfoot Body Hoax by Rick Dyer? If anybody knows that one.
Well, it didn't seem like it was that long ago, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I guess it was.
Oh, it was long ago. We're approaching.
Yeah, remember? My brain is like, that just happened yesterday, and turned out it's like 12 years ago.
Right. No, actually, Grass, it was 2008.
Yeah.
The first one was 2008.
Yeah, not too long ago, I was looking at the HBO series John Adams, and I was going to rewatch that because it's been a few years since I watched it.
So Ron Meldrum asked a good question right there. Do we have an opinion of whether Bigfoots in colder areas like the Northeast migrate south in the winter? Or where I think they move not too far, but I think they move to areas where there's more cover. Like we've often talked about the Adirondack Bigfoot on the eastern side of the Adirondacks, east of Lake George, migrating over to the Green Mountains, even though it may be a slightly higher elevation, there is pine there, whereas in the eastern Adirondacks, it's oak and maple, and they don't have any cover. Their leaves drop. So they move over to the Green Mountains for cover. It's evergreen, and you can actually
that's the year of the Bigfoot Body Hoax, I think.
I have no idea, Danny. That's a YouTube question.
Oh, I don't know, Danny. You might need to refresh or something other.
I don't know.
You might be not signed in on your TV or something if you're watching.
I don't know. Somebody asked Steve. That didn't include his dealing with Ivan Marks. Who are we talking about here? I do not know anybody that dealt with Ivan Marks except for that person from Menlo Park.
1972, was that the Minnesota Iceman? Or no. Wait a minute. It would have been earlier than that, wouldn't it?
No, Ivan Marks was the guy who did the. That was the. You know who Ivan Marks is. That was the mentor. That was the mentor of Menlo Park guy.
Yeah, it just says the Minnesota Iceman. It just says from the early 1970s. It very well could have been the. Oh no! Wait a minute. No, it was.
The Cardiff Giant.
Oh, okay. That's a different one. But yeah, the Iceman sold. The display sold on eBay in 2013, and I had actually saved that. I was putting it together, going to buy that, and then somebody bought it. That guy.
Wow, I'm having really trouble with the mouse here tonight. Here, what's going on?
Time for a fresh battery.
No, it wasn't going over to the screen I wanted it to.
Oh, the crippled Bigfoot. Yeah,
So
that
the card,
was
right?
Ivan Marks. Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
So the Cardiff Giant is one of the most famous hoaxes in American history. It was a 10-foot tall petrified man that was discovered in 1869 near Cardiff, New York. The Cardiff Giant became an immediate sensation and sparked debates about science, religion, and the gullibility in the 19th century. Cardiff Giant was created by George Hull, a cigar manufacturer and known atheist from Binghamton, New York. Hull was inspired to pull off the hoax after an argument with a Methodist preacher about the literal interpretation of the Bible, particularly the verse in Genesis 6:4, which mentions giants in the earth, often linked to the Nephilim, even though it never mentions the Nephilim. So Hull's hoax unraveled when skeptics, including Yale paleontologist Nathaniel C. March, declared the Cardiff Giant a fake, identifying as a modern carving. And by early 1870, Hull confessed to the hoax, admitting it was a prank aimed at exposing religious literalism. Showman P.T. Barnum offered to buy the Cardiff Giant, but was turned down. Instead, Barnum created his own replica of the real giant. This led to a bizarre situation where two fake giants were on display, each claiming to be genuine.
Yeah. I wanted the Minnesota Iceman display and try to get it working again and do it as a, because I live in Cave City, Kentucky, and it's like a tourist town. And that would be great for a Bigfoot museum to have the Minnesota Iceman display on there. But gone.
Well, now let's be fair. Autumn Williams was on the Mysterious Encounters show. It was it was the predecessor to Monster Quest. It was a Doug Highcheck production for the Outdoor Life Network. It was, I believe, only a half-hour long program.
Yeah.
Now, Autumn, let me explain this. There was a guy who fed her a lot of stuff. I had a lot of conversations with Autumn back then after she had written the book, Enoch, which she had sent me. And there was a lot of weird things about the guy behind the story. And it upset her so much that she kind of went into her own shell. And that's just her personality. I don't think she wanted to be the public figure so much. I think she got into the public eye and she didn't like it, which she experienced. I understand that. And I respect that. And after months of talking to her, she too had a lot of, not so, of her own saying that I'm not so sure this guy was telling me the truth. She was always trying to verify, but couldn't get enough information to verify this guy's story. That's why she put it out there as just, this is what the guy told me. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Everybody forgets the preface to the book. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Yeah, well, it wasn't any worse than the other guy's book. They wrote about the Bigfoot that lived with him and performed various acts with a cow, and that he had died and took him and buried him somewhere. That was another kind of racy Bigfoot story, but I just consider it a work of fiction, and it's a good thought-provoking experiment to read that book. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, Daniel. The creature, yeah. That's not too not much of a research thing there. But if you like a good read, and a lot of folks do, it's hard to find time anymore. I know how everybody's lives are busy. It's hard to find time to read a book, but if nothing else, you throw one in the bathroom in there, and then while you're in there, read a few pages. Okay, read once a day; it'll help you. Hey, Lori, hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, we're running a little overtime tonight. Yeah, that's right. You couldn't drive a stick. Okay. Oh yeah, Tennessee Cherokee. That's a good one. That Bugs guy that said he had shot a Bigfoot, killed a Bigfoot. That was on. Let's see. I think it was Art Bell's Coast to Coast. And I remember listening to that episode, and the guy was like totally believable, to hear him tell the story. But I've listened to storytellers, and they make their version of their stories, which are completely made up, believable. And it was entertaining, but other than that, I don't think it was very educational. But yeah, Bugs was. He said he had the bodies buried and something else. And I think Art Bell offered to fund an expedition to dig them up or something like that. But you know how it always goes. Well, I'm not sure they'll still be there, or maybe somebody else dug them up. You remember the Art Bell story of the guy Bugs that shot the Bigfoot creature, Steve?
Oh yeah, the old Art Bell Coast to Coast.
Yeah, it's kind of like that guy. That's kind of like that guy from that Autumn Williams interviewed for her book, I think.
Well, hard to say exactly what. And, Autumn just penned the book really because, she wanted to write a book, but, she did, she didn't, she did, she didn't. But she wrote this book because it was the most fascinating story she had heard. And, I haven't really broken it down yet. Maybe I should do that. Let's look at the book. I don't know. Let me look at when it was published. Because I do have the book right here, and it is even autographed. 2010. So it's been 14. It's going on 15 years.
Right.
So what we may do is let's devote a show to this book. Maybe I'll see if Autumn wants to come on. I don't know. But I want to break it down what I think now. Not blaming anybody. No. See, the thing is, everybody wants to put blame on folks because, she took so much crap for writing this book. She just penned what the guy wrote to her, and she had put some of her own thoughts in there if it was true. But,
nothing wrong with a good read. Mick, I think we grew up watching the same TV and movies. I believe we did. Who can name a Steven Spielberg movie starring Dennis Weaver and a demonic truck? Was that Spielberg, though?
Yes, it was. It was, hold on. I don't know if that was Spielberg. It was Stephen King. And it was.
I don't know if Spielberg directed that or not, but it was called. You mean go ahead and give it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It was called Duel.
No.
You sure?
Maximum Overdrive.
Oh no. That's a different one. He's talking about Dennis Weaver.
No.
Dennis Weaver and a demonic truck. Yeah. You're thinking about Maximum Overdrive. I got you. That was Stephen King. Yeah. But I'm not sure Steven Spielberg directed.
What's it named?
Duel. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna have to look it up.
It was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Okay. All right.
One of Spielberg's earliest films, originally made as a television movie, but later expanded for theatrical release due to its success. It is often praised for its tension, pacing, and Spielberg's innovative direction.
Okay. I couldn't think back to the director. May have been. There we go. Yes, it was Steven Spielberg. Yeah.
And Maximum Overdrive is a horror sci-fi film written and directed by Stephen King.
That must have been.
That starred Emilio Estevez.
That must have been one of Spielberg's earliest works. Cool. I might have to look him up and do a little research on Spielberg.
Forgot about that. Yeah, I automatically, yeah. But, yeah.
It's a good movie. Good movie. Yeah, great movies. You're right, Mick. It was good. And most people haven't seen that because it's like from 1971. But sometimes you got to watch the old stuff. Is good.
Getting back to the final word on Autumn, you know what? It is what it is. She wrote a book based on a guy likely lying to her. Now I'm much older and much more seasoned. Yeah, the guy was probably bullshitting her. But in retrospect, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Not everybody is perfect. But I'll tell you what, it made her wiser. And, I've worked with Autumn a lot dealing with Bigfoot ballyhoo for the longest time.
Yeah.
When the Bigfoot ballyhoo first started, when we had the pictures that Linda Newton Perry had released and stuff like that, I worked with Autumn quite a bit on that. Yeah. And,
Autumn's great.
So there's nothing nefarious on Autumn's part.
No, not at all.
No. Nothing. She's a good egg. Just a little bit different than a lot of us. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not sure. I think it was the way the guy delivered the information. In retrospect, I would have been very suspect of it. But there were a lot of things that in my conversations about it with her and even in the book, it states there was a lot of stuff he told her, which I'm sure she had told me what they were, but I had long, forgotten the conversation. I think, the guy kind of won her over, and sometimes witnesses can do that to you. Sometimes they're nice and they have nice personalities, and she never really met him face to face. That was the other thing. There was a lot of email exchanges, phone calls exchange, and stuff like that, and talks and conversations and hours. I would like someday, now that we're beyond the PIB almost 15 years, I would love to see if she had recorded any of those conversations or a little more openness about it.
That would be good.
But
well, in the 1980s, of course, I was living in New Mexico, and during the summer months, they would have like chili festivals, cook-off, stuff like that. And during these festivals, get-togethers, they would have something called the Tall Tale Contest. And I'd listen to these guys spin these big yarns, and it was the whoever won would spin the biggest yarn and then make it most believable. And I would listen to these guys, and the winner, this one, I don't remember any of the rest of the times, but this one year, this guy told a story about that he had been captured by snakes, and he was forced to a fort or something in the desert, and these snakes were taking their orders from a broken record player or something. And the guy is just incredible, unbelievable, of course. Right. But the way the guy told it, you wanted to believe him. You wanted to believe it because he could tell it so good. And that was it. That really stuck with me. So the power of people to deceive you can be pretty strong.
Right. Yeah, you just don't know. I mean, you look at, the Daisy in the box scenario. Right. That Darren Miller, or Darren Lee, and at the time his partner Randy Harrington, were part of the, was part of the MABRC for the longest time. they actually ate with this guy and had lunch with this guy and met with this guy, and he was even on our show talking a couple of times, talking about his theories. Ed Miller, and that was actually his real name. And then, I didn't do a deep dive on him at the time. That was not really what I was doing at that particular time. I would do deep dives on certain things, but hey, guys, we're good for the extra. We appreciate it all. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that.
And thank you to everybody again who's pitched in for the extra hour tonight. And we're a little bit even over 11 right now. We're even that, but we got such a good conversation going on here. But anyway, on Sunday night, we've done our on Sunday night. We will be back. So we've gotten our extra hour in already. Wow.
And actually, next Wednesday will be Christmas Day, so we probably won't do a show on Christmas
Day. And the week after that, it'll be New Year's Day.
Yeah,
and we'll all be recovering from hangovers. Which is nice. It's actually a day off that I'll have.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it all. And, you guys make this channel happen. We appreciate it so much. And it's only going to get better for 2025. And we'll talk a little bit more of that on our Sunday shows coming up. Because I think all we're going to have for the next couple of weeks are Sunday shows, starting this Sunday. And then the Sunday after will be the last show of the year. Can you believe that?
Yeah. 2024 went by fast, man. I'm just getting used to it. Just getting used to 2024. Now we're going to switch to 2025. It's a good thing that my check writing days are behind me because, I always write the wrong year. Oh, man. But this has been fun tonight. I've had a good time.
Yeah, it was just like let's have a chill night. I had a Christmas party, then I went to work and got through the nasty traffic today. There was a lot of nasty traffic today. And hopefully, since the load was kind of heavy today, it'll be a little bit lighter tomorrow. And that's okay because I have a double tomorrow. I do 2 routes tomorrow. I do 2 routes on Friday. And then I do my late route on Saturday, which is usually a really abbreviated route because it's Saturday. It's a weekend. Yeah. So it's only the as needed stuff that they get. And then my Sunday off. And of course, I'm working an extra day. I'm working Mondays extra. I'm working 2 doubles. So I'm getting overtime. I've been working overtime through the end of the year. Just because it's needed. Being out of work for so long, it's needed. That does not surprise me, Mick. But we will be back here Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, we're going to have Jay Pachochin on from Wisconsin and, Finding Jay series. He's working on Finding J3. We'll hear a little tidbits about that. But I do want folks to come up with their best questions for him. I need you guys to challenge him as he likes that. And that's what I like about Jay. He doesn't mind being challenged. Neither do I. I don't mind being challenged. Some of the toughest.
I'm writing down some questions for you, Jay. I want you to explain the theory of relativity.
Not those kind of questions. Oh my goodness! What did you suddenly turn into, Mick?
What does energy times mass times the speed of light equal to? What? I want you to explain that to us, man.
Yeah. But so it's been a fun night, and I appreciate everybody hanging in there and hanging out with us tonight. Yeah. Again, thank you for all the super chats to Lori and Patty and Danny and Susie Monster and Jay. You guys, you're awesome.
Thank you so
much. And so next year, we're already looking at some investment for equipment for the show next year. Chris and I have been talking about that. and it'll make production, or at least the show looks like a little bit better. So I'm not having to look all over the place a lot of times or messing with things all that much. But, hey, there's Bristol. Hello, Bristol.
Bristol.
We had a little fun tonight, and what I love about this, it's the type of show where we got to interact with you guys more often than doing an official, here's a presentation. Tonight, we got to hang out with you guys for a little while.
I love to hang out with everybody in chat. It's great. I wish we could do the same thing with everybody on the podcast list.
And by God, and by God, if you're anywhere near any of the events I'm doing, please show up, introduce yourself by your screen name or whatever, so I know who you are. I can put a face to that, and we can hang out in person and have a good time. So, folks, we will catch you all Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Chris, do your thing before we go.
Yeah. Again, thanks everybody for hanging out with us on this Wednesday night. We appreciate it, and we've had a great time. I've had a great time. If it's your first time watching, I think maybe have some few new people here, or those lurkers out there. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. It helps the algorithm. They tell us. And if you smash the like button, it'll help promote the channel to other people. It's not like we're going to make $1 million for you doing that, but it doesn't cost anything. So we appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
And I'll tell you what, Chris, you know what's coming up for 2025, hopefully.
I know a few things, yeah.
It's not 25, it'll be 26, but 2025, we got some big, big plans, depending on a few tactical and relative things going on behind the scenes. But 2025 should be a great friggin' year. And
maybe the year.
Maybe the year. But we will catch you all Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hey, for the rest of the week, everybody stay safe. God bless, and we'll keep on squatching. We'll see y'all a little bit.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.